Jalen Hurts. Has he done enough? He had a great season. May have won the MVP if he hadn't gotten hurt for those 2 games.
Yep, he might have.
Definitely the driving force and the leader on this Philadelphia Eagles team. And he's up for a long-term contract extension. Have you seen enough from him to this point where it's like a no-brainer? Oh yeah, we're signing him up without question.
No way, no how.
Wow,
and
that's strong.
Yes, and there's no disrespect to him.
You don't like black quarterbacks.
Is that what it is?
I know that.
That's got to be racist.
Yeah, that's wow. Chris, I can't. Like you just brought up before, Carson Wentz.
Right.
Wentz in a lifetime. Pennsylvania. All that was
that
in
was
play.
your guy.
Absolutely.
That was your guy.
Right.
Carson.
Okay.
Right.
All right. But
you'll admit you're wrong on that one. You were wrong on that.
It didn't work. It was wrong. Okay. All right.
It's rare that you do that. You're wrong a lot, but you never admit it.
I'm not wrong a lot. I'm right a lot. It's Nick wrong who's I'm wrong a lot. All right. But anyway, no, it's not like a disrespect to him. There's no reason to rush Chris to sign him. That's really what it comes down to. He ain't going nowhere. He's under our control. Why would I rush? Can I see a second season? Can I see when teams alter their defensive plan, Chris? Right. And he have to make an adjustment. Can I see that?
Right.
Was this an outlier? Next year, the Cowboys win the division, and the Eagles are 9-8.
Remember, nobody's won that division back to back in years.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's more about that than it is about him or he did anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. I just am not. If I'm an ownership or management, I'm not forced into making that decision. He ain't leaving, so I don't have to be afraid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think that if you don't sign him after this year, he's going to hold it against the organization because other quarterbacks didn't get cashed out like that.
No, I tend to agree with you. Look,
see, you don't like black quarterbacks.
We've seen this happen. They rushed to sign Jared Goff and ended up trading. They rushed to sign Kyler Murray. And now
would they take that back if they could?
Right. Like these, we've seen Carson Wentz. They rushed to sign Carson Wentz, and that became a disaster. When you have several years to do this, you don't have to rush and do it after the third year.
And we said it with the Kyler Murray coming off that terrible playoff game. You remember we were like, I would want to see one more year.
Yep. And he did kind of force their hand. They didn't have to bow and buckle. They did. And obviously it's a disaster because not only has he not played well this past season, but the questions now are about his attitude and do you want to coach him
and how many
things
players
like that.
have publicly gone at him, Chris, which is weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you have not just a guy that had a bad season, but you got other questions.
Like there's a rep.
Yeah.
There's a rep that's not top notch.
And obviously Jalen Hurts is the opposite. I mean, he's got, I'm not worried. And this is the one thing, even though I would wait because I just don't have to do it, this is the difference between him and Carson Wentz. Carson certainly wasn't to the point of Kyler. But, Rob, you're always hearing stuff, the locker room's divided. Some guys don't like him and this and that. Jalen Hurts is work ethic, character, integrity, like respecting that locker room.
Anything but good.
No, it's all – and that's been since college. You've heard that. The way he handled being benched for Tua and all that stuff. So I'm not concerned about, like, players souring on him. I'm not concerned about him resting on his laurels. But why would you do it?
There's just no reason. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Because even his people wouldn't expect it, Chris. If you went to him with a big money deal after this, they would be shocked, wouldn't they?
I mean, because of the landscape, I'm sure his agent would love to push for it and stuff.
But
so I'm sure he knows about it and he may.
But he doesn't expect it, is what I'm saying.
But you don't have to. I just think, why not pause, Rob? He's a year removed from being mediocre. And I'm not saying he won't continue to be a great quarterback, but that is one difference with a guy like a Mahomes or an Aaron Rodgers or one of these guys that is just a golden arm.
Because they were from the beginning, right?
And when you see that, you know, okay, that's going to be my guy for 15 years. The running quarterbacks is different. Cam Newton didn't last that long. Lamar's been hurt.
When they let Brett Favre go, he still had years in him, but they knew they had somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't like, oh my God, what are we doing? No. Once you know you have a talent, then it's something totally different.
Now look, if he wins this Super Bowl, I mean, you heard Howie Roseman say he has nothing to prove. I mean, not Howie Roseman, it was the owner who said that. And so they may sign him. I'm just saying, I think I would kind of wait. Let's see what we do next year.
Jeff Loria, right?
Yeah, the owner. Let's see what we do next year. Again, why rush?
I think after next year, if he has another great season, then you
Two
sign
straight,
him. Right?
And if you may not win the Super Bowl, you may not get to the Super Bowl.
But
as long as you're still a juggernaut, you're one of the best teams in the league,
and he's a good player.
And he's
playing
playing
good numbers. Yeah,
maybe in the MVP conversation.
we got our quarterback for the next decade or whatever, 12 years. Let's make it happen.
Right.
We want to get him set, get him signed, let him feel good about the organization and what we're building here. And he's a main piece, the centerpiece, the franchise quarterback. And then you do it. But to rush to do it, and I think given what they went through with Carson Wentz, Chris, they're going to be.
You would think they'd be
because they already got burnt once.
Absolutely. And Rob, there was and I mentioned if the guy's a passing quarterback, you think you can sign him. That was Wentz. I mean, he was en route to being the MVP.
You remember he got hurt and missed those two games, and Tom Brady won it, right? Didn't Tom Brady beat him out?
Was Brady MVP that year?
Right.
Yeah, but it was Brady. Yeah, but he he's never been the same.
Yeah.
Never been the same.